Hello and thank you for watching my video. Welcome to another in the series looking at Guild Wars 2 Elite Specializations, and today we look at the Revenant Elite Specialization, and that is the Herald. Now obviously the Revenant is a new class, so it's going to feel a little bit less, fantastic than the other Elite Specializations, purely because we're getting to know the Revenant completely. It's a brand new class. And so the Revenant gives you access, first and foremost, the new weapon is the shield. When I say it's the new weapon, it is the weapon that comes with that elite specialization, otherwise not accessed to the Revenant. And the shield, first of all, the shield does a couple of things. It does skill Envoy of Exuberance, send the energy of glint towards the target area, granting protection to allies before releasing a burst of energy that heals allies and granting protection again when it returns to you. So let's actually have a look at that in action. You can see it here, it goes forward and then it rebounds and comes back, and we get that protection. So that's pretty cool. We also got a bit of a might because that's something we traded for. Very interesting skill. However, I would point out that the difference with the Revenant compared to other classes is the energy upkeep. If we watch it again, it does cost 10% energy. So if you are upkeeping skills, then that's something to be aware of. The skill 5 is a pretty cool skill actually. It's Crystal Hibernation, and it channels a shield from the mist to protect you, blocking attacks and regenerating health. So you get this shield here, very similar shields that you get on, for example, Guardian and Engineer, which have those similar type of shielding. But again, you're not like losing the capture point. It's a 3-second duration, pulses you for pulses 4 times for 975 health. But again, it's a pretty hefty amount of energy. It takes 20. You can see that it goes down to 30%, which is a big, huge amount, again, if you're upkeeping skills. So that's to do with the skill. Again, there's not really anything different, because obviously the Revenant's pretty unique in the fact that it uses Legends to use its healing and utilities and elite skill. The elite hero that we actually get is Glint. So this is what we get. We actually get Glint, so I'm going to swap onto that. And I will say one of the unique things is the upkeep. Is you actually hear the Crystal Desert theme, which is pretty cool in my opinion. But let's talk about the F2 skill first of all. This is actually part of all of these upkeep skills. And what it is when I talk about upkeep is here is your energy bar. At the moment we have a +5 energy regeneration. So for example, if we use a skill, it will spike 5 ticks per second to actually get to 50%. Whereas if we use some of these facets, and I'm going to explain them as we go along, then it actually reduces our energy, and so it regenerates slower. So let's talk about the healing skill. This is a facet of light, and this is place the facet of light on yourself to grant nearby allies regeneration every few seconds. Now this is really cool. What I'm going to do, I need to go to a friendly point, and what we're going to do, we'll probably use an NPC. I'm hoping that certain NPCs can be given boons. So here we go. I'm going to put Facet of Light on me. You might be able to hear it in the background going on as well, so I can't give that person might. So you see here, we've actually got regeneration, and this just continues. Now you notice as well, we actually lose 1 stack, because if you look at the Facet of Light to the right hand side, it's got that -1, and that is the upkeep. So that's something you want to be aware of, that when you have got skills with upkeep, it will actually mean that your upkeep's going less. So if you use a shield skill, for example, it is going to take longer. You can see it's going slower to get back up to 50%. So let's look at this person here. You can see here I'm actually pumping out a lot of regeneration, and this person who's standing right next to me is actually getting all this. Oddly enough, they're actually getting might, which is actually a trait of mine. They ran away. Brilliant. Okay, this person here I'm going to use operator bot. They're going to stand next to me, and they're going to get might and regeneration. So this is pretty cool. If you decide to use it, you will consume the light, heal yourself, and invert all incoming strikes to healing for 4 seconds. That's right. If all attacks hit you, you will heal. A very, very cool skill, can be used at the perfect time. 30-second cooldown though. Then we have the Facet. Well, we might as well use that. There we go. Then we have the Facet of Darkness. Place the Facet of Darkness to grant nearby allies fury every few seconds. and this is phenomenal. This allows you can see here it hit 3 people there. They're all getting Fury from me, and it's a continuous, keeps applying the boon. So you can see here we're getting Might and Fury, and if you want to use it, you get a blindness. You're revealed for 5 seconds, but oh, sorry, actually, you actually blind them, I believe. I think it's either the thief is blinded or, you're revealed. It doesn't matter either way, but you get a lot of 5-second blind. And we're gonna hold on to that for now. And then I want to show you, I'm going to miss out this one here. We're going to go to Facet of Strength. Place the Facet of Strength on yourself to grant nearby allies might every few seconds. So there you go. Also, consume the Facet of Strength, damaging nearby foes and causing vulnerability. So it's a 10 stacks of vuln for 7.25 seconds. But look here, the guy standing next to me, because of my boons, is getting 10 stacks of might, and he's getting a stack of fury. And look at the duration we're getting as well, just by standing next to me. And this is where the Herald is a phenomenal character. The Herald can be either a support player, or it can be its own, DPS type character. So that's some of the upkeep we've got going. Obviously, you can see we've only got 1 tick left. The other one, that last tick, I'm going to use with this one here. Facet the elements. This basically means I have permanent swiftness. There we go. I'm running around with perma swiftness. I don't have to do anything, no skills. I'm just running around with swiftness on me. 33% increased movement. Phenomenal. Loving this. I'm loving the fact that you can keep these boons up. I will come on to this little symbol here later. So we'll get rid of these for now. Then we come on to the Elite, which is Facet of Chaos. Place the Facet of Chaos on yourself to grant nearby allies protection every few seconds. Oh yeah, we get protection. However, it does take up all of your stacks. So you do have to make sure that, for example, you use that Elite skill, which basically causes a lot of damage and gives you super speed before you can start, getting some of these bigger skills, like, for example, the shield skills. You won't be able to use them while really you're using this upkeep. But it's a phenomenal ability to keep this protection going. I mean, you can use like skill 1, to keep tacking, and then, you can decide to use that. So again, it's very interesting gameplay that the Herald's going to have, especially to do with the upkeep. But having all these boons that it can share is really fantastic. So we're going to use that. You can see there you get a nice dragon image, brilliant. And let's come on the F2. Place the Facet of Nature on yourself to grant nearby allies naturalistic resonance every few seconds to increase outgoing boon duration. So there we go. We put this on us, and this increases the boon duration. And if you consume the Facet of Nature, so just so you see that, increase outgoing boon duration by 50%. Oh yes, oh yes. If we, you can see here, for example, let's put Might on us. I'm just going to leave that and let it run, and you'll see how much might that we actually get. It just keeps going up and up and up. So let's talk about the traits quickly while we let that build up. And we go into the build here. Now, obviously, Retribution and Devastation. I went for a bit of a DPS type build here, but you can vary it up. I will show you what it's like in PvE and what my character is, because for a lot of people, I've talked about it a lot. This is my gear. The toughness, vitality, healing power, I'm going pure tank, and I actually ended up yesterday, with 4,500 armor, and I was with protection. I had 33% damage reduction. Oh man, I was being able to tank like a boss. So let's go back to the traits. Here we go. So the first trait we get with the Herald, we get you can now equip a shield. Then we have the couple of choices. We either go gain super speed when you successfully break a stun, place infused light on an ally while you revive them. So that's pretty cool. Inverts all damage to healing. So that's quite cool. If if one of your allies is getting cleaved down in, for example, PvP, if an ally is getting cleaved, put this on them, they're going to get healed up. But what I go for is gain toughness for each point of upkeep you're currently using. So if we add one more, you'll notice that we have 2 for upkeep from the Facet of the F2 skill, 2 from the Might skill, and 1 from the Facet of Elements. Now that's giving us 5 upkeep. And what that means is we're getting 5 hardening persistence. That's an extra 200 armor. If we actually have a look here, armor's up there is 2426. Now let's watch what happens when I pop these and get rid of them all. And it drops down. So it drops down by 200. So that's just to show you the difference in armor. So that's what that trait does. I really love that trait. I use it a lot. What we also have, gaining increased endurance regeneration while you have an active upkeep. So while you have one of these skills upkeep, you can dodge around a lot bit more. Then we have grant protection to nearby allies when using a healing skill. This is particularly useful if you're into the Ventari and you use some of these other skills. For example, you get the stone out and then you can use these healing skills. Then you'll be granting regeneration, granting protection. When you apply a boon to an ally, also apply might to nearby allies. That's why you saw that might stack was quite high, because, you know, and when I, for example, use that skill 4, granting protection to my allies, it grants might as well. Really useful in dungeons. I think this is going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to see the PS warrior pretty, you know, the phalanx strength. I don't know if they're going to be that much use with the fact that this Herald can give you might, it can give you protection, it can give you fury, give you anything you want really. The harmonized continuity, I can't say that, continuity, there we go. When you successfully stun break, you can also stun break nearby allies. That could be very useful if there are a lot of group stuns. Increased damage per boon on you, which is good for DPS type characters, particularly if you're running like Shiro and he can do a lot of DPS. I run activate crystal hibernation when using when struck below 25%. There's also when stability is applied to you, you gain an extra stack. Again, useful in PvP or world versus world to stop those knockbacks, CCs. That just extra stability could be very, very useful. So that is the traits. Let's go and actually have a look at the Herald in a little bit of action. Generally, you know, I've gone sword shield. You know, I don't want to demonstrate too much because obviously the shield is pretty limited. You know, I've shown both the skills. You know, you've got this crystal hibernation, but the ability to channel some of these, you know, the facets is so cool, and the upkeep is amazing. So let's look at this character here. So it's an elementalist. I'm going to pop Fury and Might. I'm just going to stand next to him. And I'm going to use a bit of healing as well. So you see his might stacks are building up. Just watch. Let's watch him. Let's see if we can do any damage. Much more better. You can see how much healing we get going for him as well. But I want to show you as well the combination of the Herald while this is going on, as he's doing a lot more damage. I'm going to swap into the F1 skill, and then we're going to put the Ventari's tablet down. Now I want to show you just how much healing we can actually do on this build as well. You can see there we're actually getting 3,000 healing. It's actually not going that much because I'm not on my healing guild right here. But let's actually pop. You getting healing. Oh, I mean this is just a Ventari. For example, this is Ventari. The actual Ventari hero. It's not actually to do with the Herald per se. You can run it and obviously run with the. For example, you can choice of heroes can actually interchange and determine how your playstyle runs. So, for example, obviously you have Glint being one, the legendary Dragon Stance. But you want to decide what you want to do for your second one. Now, if you're running DPS, you may want to go for Shiro. If you want a bit of Condi removal, go for the Malinx Demon Stance. If you want a bit of tankiness, Dwarven Stance or Ventari is pretty cool. So I'm mixing at the moment between the Centaur, which gives you a lot of healing. And not as much as Druid, for example. But you can go into the legendary Dwarf Stance as well. So there are a few stances that you can mix and match with Glint and the legendary Dragon Stance, but some of these skills are really phenomenal. I love playing this. The Herald for me is one of my most excited, you know, what I'm really looking forward to playing most in Heart of Thorns out of any other specialization. For me, I want to play the Herald more than anything else. So that's my view on the Herald. It's a phenomenal class right now. I think Revenant is going to have a great place. It's going to take a little while to balance it out and find your niche, find where you need to be. But if you've got any comments, please leave them in the section below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.